Welcome to Curly Gardener. Today in this video I am going to show you how I have used the moss sticks for my plants, because till date I have been using the PVC pipe and I have been coiling the jute thread on them, and that has been my go-to moss stick for the plants, and they're doing pretty decent with it, I would say. But this was the very first time I purchased the actual moss stick. Basically there are different varieties of moss sticks available in the market. You can even make your own moss stick at home. They have become so easy. So in this video I'm going to show you how I am planting those moss sticks on the plants that have already grown so big, and how am I going to support them with that, and also see the result of them in the future, that if there is any change or difference in the plant. Before I start showing you how I'm planting those moss sticks on the plant, I wanted to discuss with you so that you can decide which of the plants actually need moss sticks. For example, if you take, you cannot put moss stick in any or every plant. There are certain specific type of plants which require support, and they can grow vertically as well, because that is their natural habitat. They take the support of different plants or trees and they grow, like monstera, even money plant, and different kinds of pothos and philodendron and different kinds of plants. So for you to decide if your plant requires moss stick or not, the first thing is you need to see that the stem should be having the aerial roots. If you can see, this plant has a root here, which is like very strange, because the root should be inside the soil, but it's not like that. These are called aerial roots, and they are supposed to grow on the stem. Why are they on the stem? There is a purpose of it, because they are like kind of small tiny legs of the plant, which will help it to take the support and grow vertically, which is the beauty of these plants, because you can let it trail down, or you can give them a support for them to grow vertically upward. So that is the first thing that you need to notice in your plant, that they require a moss stick or not. Now the benefits of moss stick is they will stay moist. So when you're watering the plant, you need to make sure that you are watering the moss stick as well, because the roots need to stay moist, and that's when they need to get the moisture from the support system that you're providing. So if it is a moss stick that you have purchased from the market, the standard one, which I want to show you, like this one, this is a moss stick which I purchased online, and if you see that these will help hold the water, and the root will get into them or coil around them, or whichever way the plant grows, and then it will always stay moist. They need the moisture constantly, which will help the plant to grow bigger. Also, it changes the look of the plant, which is like the most important thing for me, because most of the time I see that the plants are like at one level and they're like just growing in any direction. One of the example that I want to show you is this one. This is a philodendron whirlmart, and it is out of control. It has very big aerial roots, as you can see. I tried to, when it was very small, there were only 1 or 2 leaves, I tried to support it with this bamboo silly stick, which didn't help much. But look at it, how big it has grown without the help of a moss stick. And if I put a moss stick in this, just imagine how beautiful it will look, and it will just grow wild. This is what I feel. So let's get started, guys, without delaying much. I want to show you how am I going to put these moss sticks in these plants, because this is my very first time as well to use these moss sticks. And I'm going to use a few things which will help support the plant, because in the initial days you need to make sure that the plant is getting good amount of support to hold the moss stick. For example, I'm going to use these zip ties to tie the plant, and also I'm going to use the bobby pins to support the plant as well. And let's see how it goes. So to get started with the moss stick, I have taken here bobby pins and zip ties. I don't know which one I would need. And then I have taken this pothos plant. This definitely has a lot of aerial roots. And I bought this 2 feet moss stick. I got a pair and I got it for 235 rupees. I found it a nice deal, and also the reviews were good, so I got them. So let's get started. So first I'm going to see the side where I can put the moss stick. I see that the plant is mostly inclined towards this side, so I have a lot of place here. So I'm going to put the moss stick here. Ow! I feel really scared to dig into the soil. I don't want to hurt the roots. That's why I'm putting it in the corner and making sure that it reaches the bottom so that it has a good support. I hope this is straight. It is straight, and I think that it has gone deep down as much as possible. It's not moving unless I move it. Okay. First step is done. It was scary. And then I see that there are a couple of them which are like trailing out. I see 2 big trails and 2 small trails. 1 small trail. So I'm going to take one by one and then I'm going to start coiling them. As and when I'm coiling them, I'm going to use these either bobby pins or zip ties. I don't know which one would be easier. Let's see. Oh, these bobby pins are very thin, yeah. It's not very strong. They need to be, initial days they need to be supported really well, so that yeah, this is going in. Okay, and here we go. First pin went in. Yay! After the first pin, I am moving on to the next one. I don't know why am I so cautious about it, because I really don't want to break the plant or hurt it. So it has been doing so well without me touching it till now. I'll show you. You have to find the right spot where it can go in. I'm not finding the right spot. Okay. Okay, here it is. Yeah, perfect. It just went in so smooth. It's coming out from the other side. Okay, this pin is too big, guys. I don't want to use this one because it's too big, and I have to put it in a slant direction so that it goes in, and also making sure that it falls in a place where the root is getting proper support. Let me put it in a slant way. Now I'm going to put it straight. Okay, here. Second try with this pin. Okay, this is perfect now. I like it. This is going to stay for long. This is not just for 1 or 2 months. It might even stay for years, because it's not just that you're going to coil it, but once one coil is done, it comes down again. So like that's the best way to utilize the moss stick as much as possible, utilizing it to the maximum. When it is completely full packed, then you have to think about replacing it or extending it and stuff like that. But that's a long story. Let's just focus on doing it now. Okay. And then moving on to the next one. This one is pretty longer than the other one, and let's see how I want to put this. There's another way of coiling it as well. You can just put it straight like this, and then you can put it down, and when it comes again you put it up and then down. That is also another way of making it look bushier and nice. It's actually easy. It's not that tough. I was so scared of doing this. I was thinking I'll hurt the plant. Didn't even want to touch it. So it's not required for, see how nicely it is already supporting, and if I water it will be perfectly fine. But still, just to be on the safer side, that they actually hold the moss stick, I'm going to stick them to the moss stick even more, like so that the roots can be close to the moss and get as much of water as possible. So basically this will be the front, I guess, because this side more it looks bushier and nice. We are done with this plant. I'm just checking. Now the second plant that I am going to put these moss stick on is this Philodendron Burl Marks. Very interesting, very hardy plant, but I'm very scared because it's not easy to coil them. They have become too thick to be coiled around. They are not going to change their shape. They're the way they are. So let's get started and see how am I going to do this. First of all, I'm going to remove this my Kaam Chalao moss stick. It has been there since long. I just have to get rid of them. I just tied it because I didn't expect it to become so big in such a small pot, but this plant is really surprising me every time. But anyway, let's first clean it a little bit. Gardening creates a lot of mess and dirt and all, but it's so much fun. So what I'm going to do is, let's see first if this moss stick is okay for this. This moss stick is 2 feet. I just need to see that if there is a, oh my god, it's already this height. I think I have to take a bigger one. Let's see. The other set of moss stick that I got is this one. This is 3 feet each. I got it set of 467 rupees from Amazon. Let's see if this one is okay for this. Hopefully this should be okay for this. I'm just worried about the fact that it shouldn't move because the pot is not that big. But let's see. This is a 3 feet one, which looks pretty decent to me for this one. Again, the same process. I see that the plant is leaning this side, and that's the reason why I'm putting it this way. And also I'm trying to feel that I'm not hurting the roots. So as I told you initially, that this plant has grown pretty big already, and it's not, the stems are not very soft for me to coil it around. And that's the reason why what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it straight up. Should be able to see my face. I'm going to put it straight up like this without disturbing or trying to coil it, because I might end up breaking it. So what I'm going to do is trying to stick it as close to the moss stick as possible. And this one definitely I need a zip tie because the bobby pins are small for this. Okay, I'm going to put one zip tie here, and the zip tie is small. I also have bigger size zip tie. Let's see if that works. Okay, so let's try with a bigger one. I'm just prepared with everything. I knew this problem will come. Okay. Oh god, this is funny. Even this is not coiling. So I'm going to use the big bobby pins. Let me stand here, and again the same process. I'm going to insert it in a slant way. Now the funny thing is, this plant is too big on a small pot, and it is not, the moss stick is not able to hold the plant. Every time I'm putting the moss stick is leaning towards one side. Maybe the soil is less for it to hold. So I have to figure out something about this, but for sure I have to repot this plant, because it's not able to take the proper help from the moss stick, and it's too big for this pot as well. So I'm keeping it aside. This was a failure. I picked a different plant, which is a normal pothos, and this is also growing really well. It requires good support, and at the same time it is in a very big pot compared to whatever I did till now. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I see that there is a good amount of place that I have here, and I'm going to insert the moss stick. But I'm going to use the big one this time. Because it didn't work for the other one, but I'm pretty sure it will work for this because the soil is sufficient. So that was a learning, guys, that you cannot put a very big or a long or a tall moss stick in a smaller pot unless you give them some support. Otherwise it's going to bend and fall. Anyway, so the same process, I'm going to insert it, and it's going in really well. I'm happy till now. I try to insert it as much as possible again to give it a good support. The moss stick needs to take the support from the plant, and I think it is inserted completely inside, and that's the reason why it's not going inside anymore. Perfect. There's not much of trails this plant has because I just planted it recently, but whatever it has, I will just coil it around. See how easy it is to coil them, unlike the other one. So try to use a moss stick when the plant is small or tender for you to coil it, or bend or twist or change the shape of the plant as per you want. Once it grows too big and thick, it's not possible to coil them. And I broke one stem. No worries, anything that breaks I always put them in. Okay, so I'm going to use a bobby pin here. I'm so embarrassed, I just broke one. That happens a lot while gardening. I have my first bobby pin inserted very successfully, and I'm going to coil it more. Don't try to over coil it like I was doing just now. I'm just going to put one here. It doesn't require too many pins if you coil it properly. The first coil is done. These are like new stems, and this is the right time for you to coil them because they're so tender and they will not break, unlike the other one that I broke. Okay. You can coil it in the same direction or in the opposite. I see that the plant is inclined this side, and that's the reason why I'm coiling it this side. And then I have this small one. It's not too big, you can let it be like this, but if you really want it to look bushier and nicer, coil as many stems as possible. So I see that this one is again leaning towards this side, so I'm going to coil it this direction. That's it, and I'm done. It's a very small one. The plant is not very big, it is not grown much, but this is the right stage when you can put the moss stick. Before it grows too thick and long, and then you can keep on coiling them as and when new stems are growing, and it will be really nice. So guys, these are the two plants that I showed you, that how I planted the moss sticks on them. I broke a plant, I broke a stem, I couldn't do for one of the plants, but those are all the learnings that we had, that when the stem is thick, it is very difficult for you to change the direction or coil them or do anything, and we cannot put too much of pressure to coil them or twist or change as per the moss sticks. Important for you to notice it in the very beginning that your plant requires a moss stick, and that's when you will not break them. Otherwise it's fine, because the best thing about pothos is even if you break a stem, you can plant it again back in the soil. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to water them. Slowly water them from the top. Don't pour too much of water, otherwise you'll end up spilling them. But very slowly and gently make sure that the stick absorbs the water. And I can see actually there is a small hole here. I can actually pour the water from that hole, and then I think that the stick will absorb the water. Specifically if you are going out somewhere for a couple of days or something, or maybe a week, you can just, maybe this is very helpful because it will keep the plant moist and help the plant not to run dry easy. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed watching it and learned a lot of things, like I learned a lot of things while planting these moss sticks. This was my very first time as well. If it is your first time as well, do comment and let me know what was your experience, what are the new things that you learned, and if there is any new tricks that you can use apart from bobby pins. Is there anything else that we can use? Because I saw that the zip ties need to be a little longer. You cannot have a small size zip ties to tie the plant. So there are a lot of learnings in this video, but I hope you all enjoyed watching it. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and let me know what is your experience with moss stick. Bye bye.